Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. I know we're all excited about the Browns' prospects for this season, and I mean, who is? Cleveland has been building something special over the last few years, with a roster that's packed with talent, a coaching staff that's hungry for success, and a fan base that's more passionate than ever. But as we all know, in the NFL, things can change in the blink of an eye. And today, we're discussing something that's caught a lot of attention, not just among Browns fans, but across the entire league. It's a story that involves one of our young stars, SHEDEUR Sanders, and a recent incident that's already sparking conversations everywhere. Yes, you heard that right. SHEDEUR Sanders, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, has found himself in hot water, and it's all over a traffic stop that happened back in June of 2025. Now, I know what you're thinking, traffic incidents happen all the time, right? But this one has some serious implications, especially considering Sanders' rising profile and his importance to the team. So let's dive deep into what happened, what it could mean for him, and how the Browns are handling the situation. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack here, from the legal side to the impact on his career, and even how it might influence the team's dynamics moving forward. So it all started on a warm June evening, a typical night on the roads, or so it seemed. Sanders, who's been making headlines for his impressive performances in his rookie season, was driving when police pulled him over for speeding. Reports indicate that SHEDEUR was clocked going over 100 miles per hour. Yes, over 100 mph. That's not just a minor infraction, that's a serious violation. And you have to understand, in the NFL, where discipline and professionalism are valued so highly, this kind of behavior raises eyebrows. When the police stopped him, Sanders cooperated fully, which is a good thing. Nobody wants to see a young athlete get into trouble, especially when he's still trying to find his footing in the league. But the fact remains, he was cited for speeding, an action that on its own carries significant legal consequences. In many states, exceeding the speed limit by such a margin can lead to hefty fines, points on your license, or even suspension of driving privileges. And considering Sanders' profile, it's likely that this incident will attract more scrutiny than a typical traffic ticket. Now, what makes this story even more intriguing is the silence from the Browns organization. Up until now, they haven't issued any official statement regarding the incident. That's not unusual, especially when a player is involved in a legal matter, but it also leaves a lot of room for speculation. Fans are eager to know how the team is handling this, whether they're considering disciplinary measures, or if Sanders will face any internal consequences. It's worth noting that NFL teams typically have strict codes of conduct, and any violation, especially one involving reckless driving, can impact a player's standing within the franchise. But let's take a step back and look at the broader picture. SHEDEUR Sanders is not just any rookie, he's a highly touted prospect, a quarterback with a bright future ahead, and a key piece in Cleveland's plans for the coming seasons. His talent and leadership are seen as vital to the team's Super Bowl ambitions, and incidents like this can sometimes cast a shadow over his potential. Of course, we must remember that everyone makes mistakes, especially young athletes under pressure. The question now is how he responds, whether he takes responsibility, and what lessons he learns from this situation. Furthermore, this incident is a stark reminder that NFL players, despite their celebrity status, are still citizens with responsibilities outside of football. It's easy to forget that stars like Sanders, who dazzles on the field, are also responsible for their actions off the field. The league and the team expect a certain level of conduct, and it's crucial for young players to understand the importance of setting a good example, both for fans and for their fellow teammates. In terms of the legal side, driving at such high speeds is no small matter. Authorities often view speeding over 100 mph as reckless driving, which can be classified as a misdemeanor or even a felony in certain jurisdictions. The potential penalties are serious, fines, community service, probation, or even jail time in extreme cases. Plus, the impact on Sanders's driving record could influence his insurance premiums and future legal standing. Now, I want you to think about the implications for the Browns. As a team that's been climbing the ranks and aiming for a deep playoff run, maintaining a disciplined and focused roster is essential. Any distraction, especially one involving a high-profile quarterback, can ripple through the locker room. The Browns have always emphasized a culture of accountability, and this incident will test whether Sanders can handle the fallout responsibly. It's likely that the team will have internal discussions, possibly impose some form of discipline, or at least have a serious conversation about accountability and professionalism. And it's not just about the immediate disciplinary measures. This is a moment for Sanders to reflect and grow. Young players often learn their toughest lessons outside of the game. We've seen other stars face similar situations and come out stronger on the other side. But it requires humility, responsibility, and a genuine desire to improve. The Browns' coaching staff and front office will be watching closely, ready to support him if he demonstrates maturity, but also ready to act if necessary. Now, let's talk a little about the season ahead. The Browns are coming into this year with a lot of momentum. They've made some strategic moves in the offseason, bringing in key veterans and strengthening their roster in ways that could finally push them over the top. Quarterback play has been a concern in recent years, but SHEDEUR Sanders has shown flashes of brilliance that suggest he could be the franchise guy for years to come. However, incidents like this put extra pressure on him to stay disciplined and focused, both on and off the field. The NFL is a league that values not just talent, but character and professionalism. Players who demonstrate leadership and maturity tend to have longer, more successful careers. Looking at Sanders' stats so far, he's been impressive. His arm strength, decision-making, and ability to extend plays have drawn comparisons to some of the league's top young quarterbacks. But consistency will be key if he wants to lead the Browns deep into the playoffs and beyond. The Cleveland offense has the weapons to be dangerous, and with a solid defense and special teams, they are contenders. But now, with this incident coming to light, it's a reminder that every player's actions can influence the team's fortunes. As for the fans, I know there's a mix of reactions. Some are disappointed, others are understanding, recognizing that young athletes can make mistakes and that what matters most is how they respond. The Browns' fan base is known for its resilience and loyalty, and I believe they'll rally behind Sanders if he shows genuine remorse and commitment to making better choices. This is a test of character, not just for Sanders, but for the entire team. How they handle this situation could set a precedent for future incidents, reinforcing the culture of accountability that Cleveland has been trying to build. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and remind everyone pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Browns are preparing for training camp and the upcoming season with high hopes. They've assembled a roster capable of making a serious push, and the spotlight is on players like Sanders to step up and lead by example. The coaching staff has been emphasizing discipline, focus, and unity, knowing that every detail counts in a league as competitive as the NFL. This incident, while unfortunate, can serve as a wake-up call for Sanders and others in the locker room. It's a chance to turn a negative into a positive, to demonstrate growth and resilience. In terms of public perception, the media has been quick to pick up on this story. Some headlines have been critical, questioning Sanders' maturity and judgment, while others have taken a more sympathetic view, recognizing that young athletes are still learning and growing. It's up to Sanders now to handle this with grace and responsibility. If he owns up to his mistake, shows remorse, and takes steps to avoid future lapses, he can regain trust and focus on what truly matters, winning games and bringing a championship to Cleveland. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time a young NFL star has faced adversity early in his career. History is filled with stories of players who have overcome setbacks, learned from their mistakes, and gone on to have legendary careers. It's all about how you respond. The Browns organization has always valued character and perseverance, and I believe they'll give Sanders the support he needs to grow from this experience. So as we look forward to the rest of the season, I want to remind you, Browns fans, that this team is built on resilience. The core of this franchise has faced ups and downs, but it's the passion and loyalty of the fanbase that keeps the Browns alive and thriving. We've seen signs of promise with the roster, the coaching staff's strategic moves, and the young talent that's emerging. But incidents like these remind us all that success isn't just about talent, it's about attitude, discipline, and character. In the end, I think Sanders' situation will be a defining moment for him, for the team, and for the franchise's culture moving forward. If he learns and grows from this, it could be a pivotal step in his journey as a leader and a key figure in Cleveland's quest for greatness. The Browns are poised for a big year, and this story, as unfortunate as it is, might just serve as a catalyst for even greater resilience and unity. Now, I want you, the fans, to really think about this. How do you feel about Sanders' incident? Do you believe he'll bounce back stronger? And what do you think this means for the Browns' season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Thanks for watching, Browns fans.